Oh, it's worked. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another 42 Level 1. I am one of your hosts, Alistair Kennedy, and here with me as always, you're not getting your second credit this time, the former Twilight Princess of all games, the current Twilight Princess of YouTube, the Twilight Princess of your hearts, the man of many names, but we just call him one, Andy.
Standard here as always.
Yeah,
I've been retired as the
you're not that
Microsoft. What's going on?
Yeah,
I've been X'd.
You've been X'd. Like, you've been buzzed off the show. Simon Cowell said no. You're just not that good as what happened today. There's no way in your decision-making skills for anything could you have pulled off such a...
Excuse me?
You could have pulled this off.
A coup. I pulled off the greatest coup in history.
There's no way. There's no way to talk about your ex-girlfriends. But no, we are here to talk about one big story. But Andy has been finishing games this week, and we will talk about the 5.
We'll talk about them later. Maybe.
I was going to let folk join. Because I know folk are coming in. So
oh, you're building the hype, right?
building the hype. So we are going to get to it. But Andy spent 5 minutes gaming this week.
Not 5 minutes. Like,
How long did
a
Knack?
few hours. How long did it take me to finish Knack? Maybe an hour.
That's terrible, to be fair. That is absolutely terrible. I'm going to be honest. I haven't gamed this week. I haven't. I've read comics. That's what I've done. Caught up on... I'm way behind on Spider-Man. Like, I caught up on some Spider-Man. I read some IDW because I like their Ghostbusters, Transformers and Sonic comics. So I read some of those. See, my problem is, what I'll do is I'll get a couple of nights where I'm like, I really want to read. And you forget that comics come out every month. You read 12,
Yeah.
that's you caught up for a year. And I can read 12 easily, no bother. Like 12, I don't even know if it'll take me an hour. I don't even know what time I'd put in that. But I'm not saying I'm a fast reader, but you don't realise when you've got them all sitting there. And then all of a sudden, you've read, say, 24 issues and you're like, oh, where's the rest? And you're like, oh, this started 2 years ago. And you're like, oh, okay, I'll put that away. And you forget about it. And then, like, months down the line, I'll come back, or years down the line, I'll be like, do you know what? I don't want to catch up. And it's like, I'm going to start again. And then you do the whole thing again. You read it all, and it's like, oh, where's the rest? Oh, it's still ongoing. Okay. So, we'll talk about... I won't talk about games later, but Andy will. So, let's get into the biggest news story of today. Andy, I took bullet points. Like, I don't know what my cat is doing just now. It's trying to dig a hole to stew.
It's okay, we can't see it. It can do what it wants.
I can see it. He's annoying me. Just grabbing a drink. Davis. Alright. No, it wasn't Dave. I'm not getting Davis on, don't worry. It was you said grabbing a drink. Davis also mentioned.
How dare you?
So, Xbox, as you can probably tell from the title of this episode, spent a bit of cash, some hard dollar, some hard-earned bucks.
Unbelievable amount of money, to be honest.
Like, we'll get to the amount of money and what we think of it at the end, right? Properly, because I do have points that we need to go through. 70 billion, like, I can't even fathom that in my... That's not millions. 70 million's a lot to me. Like, life-changing. Like,
£70,000 is
70,000's
a life-changing amount of money.
Yeah, it's half your mortgage. Like, you know,
that's a couple of years' wages, like two and a bit years' wages.
Yeah, I would feel like I'd feel like I could retire. Seven.
Yeah, you couldn't retire on 70 grand, right? But you would feel like you could.
Yeah. 7 million, you could retire. 70 million.
Immediately, yeah.
Andy, this is... Sorry, I'll get the figure correct. It was 68.7 billion.
Just... What? It's just a ridiculous amount of money.
To put that into context, Marvel and Disney, 4 billion was the deal between them. For all of Marvel.
4 billion. Yeah, 4 billion each, yeah. So like 8 billion for Marvel and Disney, all of it.
What?
Like,
No, Disney didn't buy Disney. I was going to then say
Sorry,
Disney spent $4 billion on Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
After that. So $8 billion for both of them. And that's for all of Star Wars and all of... That, to me, is absolutely crazy that the biggest film franchises in the world arguably are Marvel and Star Wars, yeah?
Yeah.
Disney got them both for $8 billion, right? It's still not peanuts.
Yeah.
Right. So let me move this chocolate out the road. Fruit Nut Cadbury, in case you're wondering.
I wanna put this in that figure in another context, right? So in 2019, the Premier League was valued. The Premier League,
the whole Premier
UK
League.
Premier League, the whole Premier League was valued at 25 billion.
So not even half of this amount.
Or even half of this amount. That's in 2019,
so
obviously.
Xbox,
now, but
yeah, but not by much.
What?
So
Not by
Xbox
much.
have enough money if they wanted to buy an entire league of football, not just a team. The
They
league.
could buy the Premier League and they just rename every team Xbox, Liverpool,
Xbox United, Xbox FC.
Everton.
They should have.
They could do that if they wanted, and then just all your Premier League games are all on Game Pass now. Like they could do shit like this now. That's the amount of money we're talking about here.
However,
they could buy the entire Premier League.
They didn't.
Just...
And what they did buy was Xbox. But where's my? I should have this prepared. I can Google it in a second. We send so much news.
You literally put it in the title.
No, it's not this film.
Okay.
Right, so I'm just going to ad lib. So this is paraphrasing Phil Spencer from what he said a week or two ago about Activision, and this kind of set off alarm bells for me. So everyone was coming out and condemning them. Everybody, because there was bad business practices at Activision. This show's not here to pick that apart. We might touch on it later, but this isn't the show for that. It's wrong. We disagree with them. We've said fuck them before.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
It's because I'm using
Take
it.
a look at the help section in your Alexa app.
Fuck
Hey,
Alexa as well.
Fuck that. Do you notice it comes on when I say that a lot of times? But Phil Spencer came out. Xbox already said about a month, 2 months ago, Xbox are reevaluating their relationships with Activision. We didn't realise they were reevaluating them this hard. But
Not like this, no.
Phil Spencer came out 2-3 weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and said he was asked about Activision in an interview, I'm pretty sure, and he says that he's not here to condemn them when Microsoft's own history isn't squeaky clean. And I'm like, why would you say that? Like, you've already said you're reevaluating. It makes sense now because he's not going to badmouth the company he's acquiring.
Nope.
But this isn't confirmed, but it looks like after the deal, it's still shitty because Bobby Kotick's the guy in charge, and fuck that guy. He's still in charge for about a year, depending on how long this deal takes. But they said it will be done by mid next year. So say a year and a half. That sounds about right. So after that, there's no mention of Bobby. It says that afterwards they will report to Phil. So that sounds like Bobby's gone.
There was another story, I think it was in Forbes,
Yep.
maybe, that I read that did say that sources inside Activision say that Bobby will be phased out after and leave the company.
He won't be there.
Takeover.
I can say without sources, Phil Spencer won't want him. Phil Spencer's trying to cultivate an environment in Xbox where it's like everybody's here, like that meme I sent you earlier with Smash Brothers Xbox in 2027. So let's have a look at this, right? So that was Phil Spencer's comments in Activision recently, and that set off alarm bells for me. It was like, Phil Spencer's not condemning them. They're saying, well, we're not squeaky clean. I think some point down the line, Uncle Phil's going to have to come out, and he will. This will be being prepped just now. What are you going to tell them once the deal's through, right? Because see all these people saying, the deal will fall through. It won't. Disney bought Fox.
It won't.
This is big for video games. It's not big for the world. It's not like Apple buying Samsung. It's not as big as that. It's Microsoft buying some software companies, what the lawyers will see. So see all this fair trade and stuff? This doesn't come into it. Because you still get big companies.
It does not, no. You're 100% right. I think the only thing that would come into it is if Microsoft were to try and buy Sony or potentially Nintendo.
That's different.
In that situation, then maybe you could have an argument about monopolies. But if they're just buying a video game developer to develop games for them,
no
it's
problem.
Fine.
And I'm sorry,
yeah,
right?
No problem.
A lot of the people, I've got both consoles. I've got a PlayStation channel that I haven't been on for a while called L3 to Sprint. That's mine. So I like them both. The most butthurt people I'm saying is COD PlayStation fanboys. Right? We'll get into that in a bit. But I'm sorry, like, you're the ones that were saying, where's your games? Where's all your games? So Phil Spencer went, okay, hold my beer. And he's just for the past 3 years went, I'm buying you, I'm buying you, I'm buying you, I'm buying. So anyway, we'll get into that. But let's have a look at the IPs that they will own, or at least some of them, Andy, at the moment. Okay? Because, yes, they've bought COD. That's the main takeaway from this. And we'll talk more about COD in a bit. But they have bought some other titles. I sent a list earlier. And yes, it is a long one, so bear with me, everyone. Blur. Not the band, the car racing game. Caesar, not the salad. Call of Duty. Don't have any jokes. But the thing everybody's forgetting is they now own Candy Crush. You might laugh. That's a license to print money in your auntie and grandma market.
Definitely.
Auntie's getting the bus to go and visit Granny. That's what they're playing, Candy Crush. They own Crash Bandicoot, which is hilarious because that was PlayStation's original mascot.
Totally, yeah.
Spyro was their secondary mascot, and they own them both. But anyway, sorry.
Do you want to dig into any of these when we get to them?
I do. Okay. I've got a plan. This is the first show with a plan. Diablo.
Since the first show.
This is the first show. Diablo, however you say it. That's an ongoing franchise. Diablo 4 is on way, and so is Diablo Mobile or Diablo. DJ Hero. I think that's pretty much dead in the water. Empire Earth, never heard of it. Gabriel Knight, he sounds like some R&B singer from the 90s. Did they own The Person? Is that a game? I'm not sure what Gabriel Knight
That's a game, yeah. Right. I can't remember what it was, but it was a game.
Geometry Wars, that was a popular game. Guitar Hero, I could see them bringing this back. I could see Xbox bringing that back. But
yeah. We'll
dig. Right, so you make notes of the ones you want to discuss, and we'll dig. Right, Gun, which was, believe it or not, a direct competitor and good to Red Dead Revolver. Like, Gun was a great game in PlayStation 2. Red Dead Revolver was not a good game. Hearthstone, another license to print money, popular free war. I've been talking to you too much about Warcraft, I nearly said it. Warhammer. Is it War? No, it is Warcraft. It's a Warcraft card game.
Hearthstone, yeah. Actually plays that, like, he likes it.
Heroes of the Storm, I'm sure that's tied into another one of Blizzard's games.
It's another Warcraft thing, yeah.
Yeah. Hexen.
In fact, Heroes of the Storm's all of them combined.
Hexen
was fucking game. Cool. I played that at the Saturn.
So
it was a first person, like, it was Doom basically.
Was it?
It was just Doom.
What am I thinking?
I liked it though. I don't know, not Hexen. Hexen was just Doom.
Anyway, Interstate 76, King's Quest, Laura Bow Mysteries, The Lost Vikings, cool platformer, could redo it. Overwatch, big one. Phantasmagoria.
Yeah, Fred loves that.
Hi, Fred. Pitfall, Police Quest.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
Police Quest?
Take a look at the help section in your Alexa app.
Police Quest, really? That sounded like... whatever. Prototype, Quest for Glory, Singularity, Skylanders, Soldier of Fortune, Space Quest, Spyro the Dragon, one of your favourites, StarCraft, Tenchu, which could come back, stealth games are needed, Time Shift, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and I want to touch on that a lot, True Crime, great series, World of motherfucking Warcraft, which people forget about, and Zork. Holy shit, Andy. And that's not including other IPs that I've probably left out of that list. That's insane. So what ones out of those do you want to discuss? I'll pull up Tony Hawk's while you...
I want to talk about Candy Crush.
Okay. Candy Crush, man. That game makes money hand over fist.
Yeah.
They acquired King Studios, I believe, for a few billion. Like, Activision recently bought them, like, a few years back. They paid like 3-4 billion for them. And they've got Candy Crush Saga, Candy Crush, all these other games. They make bank on that, man.
Yep.
Utter bank. It will come to Xbox.
It will come to Xbox. Microsoft will come in and they'll say to King, they'll be like, all the sales money you're making from Candy Crush, just keep making it for us, guys. Just like keep following into us, and like
Good job.
See, on the side, hire a team to make an Xbox version of this game, and we'll put it on Xbox as well.
Yeah, if you need
Done.
help, we've got the Xbox family.
Yeah.
And then they'll go,
That
any
is
sexual harassment in here? Yeah, no. Okay, you guys can all stay. And then they move on to the next room.
Yeah, that's all they'll do with Candy Crush and because I think that's the only game that King makes.
Yeah,
is the Candy Crush like family of games, because there's a few different ones. But yeah, that's cool. I will never play it on Xbox, and I will never play it again on phone, because I played it years
I'm
ago.
sure
And it's the same fucking game.
Farmville or something came to Xbox. There is a mobile game that came to Xbox.
Possibly.
It wasn't Farmville.
Yeah. Oh, there's definitely been a few mobile ports that have come over, like, but that'll come to Xbox 100%, because there's people who will play it.
100%.
Um,
But they
and
want you
then
to play it through Game Pass on your phone, Andy.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Obviously,
Right. Anyway,
no issue.
Candy Crush.
Crash Bandicoot.
Not for me, but big money.
Yeah. Crash Bandicoot is a cool one, right?
They've took PlayStation's old mascot that I always thought would make his way back. Like, I see Crash, I think PlayStation.
Yeah, me too. Like, but Crash Bandicoot, like the Insane trilogy, that'll come to Game Pass. You'll get Crash Team Racing, Crash 4. These all come to Game Pass. Guaranteed they will make a new Crash game now, which is good, because I don't think that they were going to make one, because I'm pretty sure they took, what was it, Toys for Bob that made the last one?
Yeah,
pretty sure they took them off that and put them onto fucking Call of Duty.
We're going to get to that, because Activision is basically Team Call of Duty at the moment, but we're going to get into what I think will happen with that.
Yeah, but Crash Bandicoot being there is cool. I would love to, because they've got all these cool IPs now, right? So they've got Crash, they've got Spyro, they've got Banjo.
Warcraft,
like, imagine
Tony
like
Hawk's Time Shift.
Well, no, just those three like platformer ones, right?
They've got the
Imagine
mascots now. They've got the biggest
they've
mascots,
got
arguably, outside of Sonic and Mario.
Yeah, I would totally agree, 100%.
Conker, Banjo.
Conker as well. Put those four characters in one mega platformer game. Have fucking Rare make it. Boom. Rare's sitting there making Grounded, which is no one plays because I'm sure some people play it, but it's not a good game. Like, go, oh, okay, guys, you made like Sea of Thieves and Grounded and like these kind of like live service games. Yeah, some of that stuff's working. Here's four amazing fucking IPs. Like, you guys made amazing platformers. Make us an amazing platformer with these four IPs. Do it. There's what's it called? Double Fine to help you. They just made Psychonauts 2, which was really, really well received. Put those two teams on it, Rare, Double Fine, bang, there's four IPs, make a fucking great game.
Any sexual harassment, guys? No, okay, we'll shut the door on you. That's what
Move on. Guitar Hero, right? I'll talk Guitar Hero.
Guitar Hero, what they need to do, remake. I don't want like new, just license the songs from 3 specifically, maybe 5 is okay. License the songs, or make a greatest hits and bring back like Barracuda, Dragon Force Through Fire and Flames, like these sort of songs. Put them together. Don't do the live thing, it didn't work. Guitar Hero, the old guitar, bring out classic Guitar Hero, call it that. Or Guitar Hero Classic, something like that. The guitar as we know it and love it, not the new thing with about 18 buttons that you need to learn to play. No one wants that. Just give us Guitar Hero. You'll make bank. People want that version of it. That was what I heard, that people said that we thought this was going to be a flashback to what it was. See, if you'd given people that, you'd given them the plastic break, because the Wii era was dying down. But when they made Guitar Hero Live, they shot themselves in the foot. They had crap tracks. They didn't have a classics list. It was an online sub-service, and the guitar was apparently awful. So,
I bought Guitar Hero Live like when it came out, and the guitar was the real problem there. Like it was weird having like live action things in amongst it, but like the presentation of it was okay. The song list was actually fine. It wasn't as good as like what the classic games were, but the problem with it was the guitar. If you've got a shit controller, then you fucked it basically. It doesn't feel fun to play. The 5-button classic is the way to go. Do you know what all Microsoft needs to do here with Guitar Hero? Go, Activision, you made amazing Guitar Hero games back in the day. Guitar Hero Classic, totally agree with you there. Pull in songs, the best songs from whatever games they can get licensed, right? Put it all in one. All of that's in Game Pass. Guitar.
All you need to do is buy the guitar. Yeah.
All you need to do is buy the guitar. and like like if you just buy the guitar will come with like a month of Game Pass or whatever.
Yeah, I would agree. Yep, that's the way to do
guitar
it.
comes with a month of Game Pass. Fine, like 50, sell a guitar for like 50 quid or something. It's just the same
60.
as a disc in it.
I would pay 60.
And then you make more money on top of that by people buying more songs as they come out. And it would be nice.
You'd imagine the
if they let
Bluetooth would be
people-
more accurate these days as well. So
Yeah, it would be nice if they let people bring port songs into the game from the
Won't
existing
happen.
ones that they own DLCs and stuff.
Won't happen.
You never know.
Licensing.
Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. But no, but like obviously with the songs that they put into DLC down the line,
Yeah.
if they were already in the old games, then people could port them over. But chances are they'll put in newer and newer songs.
Yeah.
But that's how you do it. £50 guitar comes with a month of Game Pass, and you've got Guitar Hero Classic, all the songs you would ever want to play are on there, and you can buy more if you want.
Yep.
It's fucking licensed to print money. Like there's so many licenses to print money in this, it's unreal.
Yeah, we're going to get to some
Unreal.
more. What's the next one on the list that you want to talk about? And their IPs. So again, this is not a definitive list. This is just some of their IPs that.
Yeah, like Hearthstone and Heroes of the Storm, they'll just bring those
Print
over to
money.
Xbox. Job done. Fine.
There's communities behind this. Also, I'd like to point out not just these IPs, but Xbox also acquired Major League Gaming during this, Andy, because Activision Blizzard own MLG Gaming.
That's like an esports thing, isn't it?
He's one of the oldest.
I don't really know.
Oh, you'll recognise MLG Gaming. You've probably seen the logos and stuff. Like it's one of the
Probably.
more recognisable things. But Microsoft now own them as well. Do you know what they should have bought? A fucking good way to stream your games on Xbox. But anyway, that's
I mean, you tried that already and fucking failed. Because they bought that company. the
Mixer.
streaming company.
They bought Mixer, and
Yeah,
then there was
they
like
bought
scandals,
Mixer.
so they shut it down, wasn't there? There was something going on with it, and then they just
something
went,
happened, yeah.
"We're done with it." And then they said, "Oh, that's fine. This year you're going to be Facebook gaming," and everyone went, "I'm not doing that." So they went, "Okay, just kind of deal with what's there for just now. We'll figure it out." And they haven't done anything. It's still just as bad. So anyway,
But they've done this. which
No, this is better.
Much cooler, I think.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is better.
totally. I'm on board with this much more.
Anyway,
and you've
next
got Overwatch. So
Right.
Overwatch.
we will
Overwatch
talk
is
about
an
that more.
interesting one.
Well, no, that's an actual section. Overwatch
Okay,
is
there's
too
an
important.
Overwatch section, right? So Overwatch is too important. Okay.
You hear that, listeners? I've got
And
section.
I want to talk about Skylanders, right? Skylanders.
Here's
because-
right, before you do. Here's what they should do. Skylanders complete with all the figures
Yep.
added in the game without having to buy one.
Yep, 100%. Because they don't want to be making plastic Skylander figures again. Like it's a money pit. Like the guitar thing. Okay, it's a bit of a risk, but I think that risk would be totally
Yeah, it would
justified.
have been negated.
Skylanders, no one's fucking buying those now. Like you can
Unlock
get away
all
with
the
amiibos.
characters.
Yeah, you can get away with amiibos because these are iconic characters already. People will continue to buy them and continue to buy them over and over and
Yeah.
over for years. Skylanders are not fucking that. Nobody gives a fuck about Pop Fizz
Hate
from Skylanders 1. Nobody cares about that. But still good games, especially for young kids getting into gaming. Perfect opportunity for them to rejig Skylanders, put it out there. Just literally just unlock all the characters.
Unlock all the
That's all you
characters.
need to do.
Every one of them.
That's it.
Keep some of the
Every
limited
character.
ones maybe as an unlockable in game, like for fun. But rework
Yeah.
it. Do Skylanders reimagined. There you go. Titles there for you, Microsoft. Take that for free.
Done.
You spent enough money.
But again, they've got plenty of studios that can make that game as well.
This is what annoys me about Disney, right? Just release your Infinity games with the characters unlocked now. Like the games, I want to play the games again.
I mean, I actually think the Skylanders games, the actual gameplay of them, is probably better than the Disney Infinity ones. A lot of the Disney Infinity stuff was really kind of empty and soulless. Some of it was good, but like especially the early ones, I hated them apart. Like the creative stuff was there, but I didn't fucking care about creative things.
Not that we're here to talk about Toys for Life, but the best one was Lego. Like the Lego one was phenomenal. Like the way you changed the playset
Yeah.
and it changed the in-game model and stuff. That was
Yeah.
brilliant. And then they canned it too quick, but I think they went in too quick and it was too expensive to produce. I mean, a minifig can cost you a tenner, and you were buying a playset for a tenner that had too many figs in a vehicle. That's not sustainable for Lego pricing.
Yep, you're 100% correct. That's exactly why they stopped doing it, because they weren't selling enough for it to be profitable. So they stopped it. They had loads more planned actually, and they cancelled them all. But yeah, I think Skylanders 100% that's what you do. Skylanders reimagined, chuck all the characters in there,
Yeah.
hundreds of characters.
I'd buy it for
Like,
Lexi.
think
She
of the-
likes the cartoon.
think of
on it.
the- Well, I mean, you would need to buy it. It's going to be on Game
So then
Pass.
Netflix, the Netflix cartoon's also technically Microsoft's now. They own that because
Yep.
fucking hell, man. This is far-reaching. This This is not just like Bethesda was big. This is bigger. This is the biggest video game acquisition in history, which is true.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, Skylanders, that's cool. Spyro the Dragon, again, similar story.
They'll do another one. I think they'll do a Spyro 4, 5.
Yeah, I think Spyro 4 or like, well, they did the other ones like
they did. That's what I mean. But
on PS3 and stuff. So like,
they
it'll be
didn't
Spyro, blah blah blah, whatever.
They didn't number them. No, it didn't name titles, didn't it?
They numbered 1 and 2, I think.
No, they numbered 2. They didn't number the first one. It was just called Spyro the Dragon.
Oh yeah,
maybe Spyro 2 was the second one. But Spyro 3 didn't have a name.
3 didn't have a name, so they could do Spyro 3 or consider that Spyro 3 and then do Spyro 4. Well, they would do Spyro 3 because they did the Spyro trilogy anyway.
Remake the first Spyro. Just do that. Do you know those Spyro games only had a year development between each one of them? By the way, true story.
That's cool that they managed to make like such decent games out of it. Like,
they made a
stand-up
engine, the platform, and it's really good. It's a bit too hard for my wee one, as is Crash, but she likes jumping about as the purple dragon. So Skylanders reimagined, that would be the one to do. But anyway, yeah, Spyro, they've bought themselves decent mascots that people still want to see more of.
100%, which is cool, and I think that this is a great fucking. Imagine how many Xbox Series S's you can sell with like a new Spyro game, a new Crash Bandicoot game, a new Skylanders game. Like this is for fucking kids. Like, and kids don't get that much like in the way of games directed for them anymore.
Nope.
Like people don't make
since
games
Skylanders
for
went, they don't. Lego's doing nothing.
Isn't any. Lego. well, there's that fucking Skywalker.
Let's not lie. It's not coming out. It's not coming out. See, by the time they do it, they'll have remade the original trilogy. Like, not that they shouldn't, but they shouldn't.
But yeah, the Lego games seem to have dried up quite a lot in the last few years.
It used to get 2 a year sometimes.
Yeah, you used to get 2-3 a year sometimes. And like mostly you're relying on indie games and Fortnite and stuff like that to sustain kids. But like Fortnite is not for kids. Kids have just adapted that because like their big brother or sister's playing it and whatnot, and it's colourful, yeah. But like Skylanders and stuff like that exist for those kids from like age 3 and up, and there's no games for like 3 to 7-year-olds right now.
No,
because I would say you probably need to be about 7 before you can actually play something like Fortnite with the complex controls.
I disagree.
Well, to actually like play it and get the enjoyment out of it, I would say so.
I don't agree with that. Full enjoyment's subjective anyway. But like, see, when we were 5, we had the cutting edge systems of Mega Drive's Genesis. We could play every game on it, right? So kids these days,
it was 2 buttons, and you wouldn't need to think in a 3D space.
Andy, my kid's 3 and she's been using an iPad better than my mum does.
Totally.
You know, so it's a different age. So yeah, Andy, I think kids are fine with Fortnite, most of it.
I still think there's a big market for
100% agree with that.
Skylanders, yeah, and Spyro and like games like that. The other one I want to talk about, StarCraft. Fucking StarCraft.
I don't have too much to say about this, but I could see them doing. Obviously, they'll be on the Game Pass PC, right? But I could see. Do you know what they'll do? They'll throw this to 343 and say, "See what you did with Halo." Mm-hmm. Do it to that. You've done it with Gears Tactics, Halo Wars. Now we want StarCraft on the console. It's going to happen.
So,
it's a popular franchise.
It is really popular. They'll do StarCraft 4 or
3.
3?
It's 3.
Yeah, StarCraft 3.
You're the fan.
Only on StarCraft 2. Fuck hell. Like
because they're so popular though, and like, is it Korea that it's really popular in, and those guys just play it constant?
But like it's extremely popular in the West as well. Like,
is it Korea?
Huge. It's South Korea, yeah. It's massive there. It's big in Japan as well, but like it's still big over here. But like StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty came out like 10 years ago. But it's time for StarCraft 3.
You say that GTA's following the same path. They don't give a shit. They're remaking it twice. It came out almost 10 years ago.
They did the remake of StarCraft 1.
Is that the one that I bought that had the cartoon graphics that almost looked like Among Us?
I think that's the Warcraft 3 remake that you bought.
It was StarCraft.
Yeah. Was it StarCraft? I don't know. I didn't buy that one anyway, but like, because I already own StarCraft 1 and I've got StarCraft 2. But I bought StarCraft 2 brand new day one, like as soon as it came out, and played the fuck out of it on my PC, and I loved it. It was a great game. But so what they need to do with StarCraft, they need to do StarCraft 3 for one, and then
PC.
There was a game on PC, yeah, that's fine. But there was also a game that they developed, and StarCraft's been on console before, by the way. It was on N64. StarCraft 64 came out.
Yeah, you're
Very,
right.
very rare game.
You're right. So was Command and Conquer actually. Yeah. Warcraft.
There's
Although
absolutely-
Warcraft 1 and 2 were on PlayStation 1.
On PlayStation, yeah. But there's no reason why that game can't translate over to console, like just a bit of controller mapping and shit.
Yeah, but that's
They make it
what I'm
work.
meaning. They give it to the 343 team and say, do what you did. Halo was in Gears Tactics. If you like real-time strategy games, those work perfect on a controller.
Yep.
And I'm not a PC gamer, as you know, Andy, but I like using my mouse for it. But those two
Yeah.
games, see if they could do that. I know we're talking about StarCraft, but see, I'll lump Warcraft in. Not World of Warcraft, and we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Because I've missed Warcraft from this list, but I love Warcraft just as much as you love StarCraft. If they
Yeah.
can do that to Warcraft and StarCraft and give it the proper control mapping, give me it now. Like, I actually didn't think that they own Warcraft 1, 2, and 3 as well. It's not just World of Warcraft.
Oh, they totally do. Yeah, it's the whole franchise. So like StarCraft 3, they should make that. Warcraft 4, they should make that. Both make console ports. I don't think there's any
4,
point.
There's going to be...
Yeah,
do you know, because
Warcraft 4.
we'll get to why that might happen later on in the line.
Yeah, I don't think there's any point in them bringing the older games to the console
There
at
is.
this point.
There
Put them
is.
put them on Game Pass PC. I don't think there's any. I don't think there's any point in them doing anything else. But future games going forward, stick them on console day one as well.
Depends how difficult it is to map it. See if it's not a difficult job and they don't
Yeah.
need a full team, put it on. Put as much of that
Yeah.
franchise as you can on. They're going to want one of every new franchise they've got. They're going to want one on console. They're going to want one game.
It will, but like I think it'll be the new ones. I don't think they'll go back. to
Wasn't
them.
there a
But
StarCraft
anyway,
first-person game that got canned?
Yes, that's what I was going to talk about. So there was a
Alright,
cancelled
alright.
game called StarCraft Ghost, right, where you played as, I think it was Kerrigan before she got taken over in StarCraft 2,
Of course.
which they were making as a like first. I'm sure it was first person or third person shooter game.
It was first person. I
back.
remember seeing it in Games
Yeah.
Master images.
I can't remember if it was N64, PS2,
was.
that sort of era anyway.
It
yeah.
was, you're right.
And it looked fucking cool, and I would have played the shit out of it, but they cancelled it and never made it. Make that fucking game. Just make it. Like, there's vaporware games that come out.
And that's how
now.
Phil Spencer should go and talk to the StarCraft team.
Yeah.
Right, so we'll get more into
Look
it
at
later, but
Metroid
I think
Metroid Dread was vaporware,
We'll get
and
into-
then it came out.
we'll get into it more later, but I think he's going to go around teams and say, what do you want to make? Because everybody's been in Call of Duty for the last 2 years. They destroyed a full team that we'll talk about later that I want back. And they need to put these... We'll get more into it later, but they basically need to go and say, what do you want to make? And I guarantee there's someone sitting at Blizzard going, we need to make Warcraft 4. There's been somebody saying that, banging their head off a wall for years. World of Warcraft, we need to get faith back in it. And we'll talk about Warcraft down the line, but like, there's going to be somebody in each team going, this is what the team really want to do. And guess what? They're in the right place, because Phil Spencer's going to go, make it. Go and make it. You've got the resources, you've got the money. There's no worry about job losses. We're not having any of that harassment at work. If you need any resources from the rest of the Xbox family, just get in touch with them. You can use their assets, you can use their team members if they're spare. Work on it, and we're going to get better quality games from both these studios down the line. Anyway, moving on from StarCraft, what's the next one you want to talk about? So you did.
Next
say
one's
make a game that
probably
can-
you. The next one's probably you. Well, no, I said make StarCraft 3 as well.
You did.
The next one's probably your Tony Hawk, unless
Tony
you've got a separate bit for that.
I don't. It's not as big. So this will tie into a bit later. Obviously, Vicarious Visions put love, care, attention. They remade, and they didn't just remake, quote unquote. They redid the stages as if it was present day. Like, remember when I was doing the video of it, it showed you the mall, and it was dilapidated like a mall would be these days. And like Tony Hawk's been aged, so he looks like he does now. They've added in new skaters. They said if it sells enough, they're going to do 3 and 4, and then they showed it sold shitloads. And guess what happened a month later? Activision went, okay, we're just going to buy you. Is that cool? And they went, yeah, brilliant. They love us so much that they're going to buy us to make Tony Hawk 3. And then guess what happened after that? They went, yeah, put the fucking skateboards down, get those skins made for Warzone. And they're like, but Hang 10, we like Offspring and stuff, dude. And they're like, go fucking make the gold skin. Did I say you could speak? Get off your skateboard. Get
Hold
off
my
the
gold skin fucking right now.
So
Like,
one of my first things that they need to do, bring that team back together, because that team does not want to be making Call of Duty. That team,
No.
you do not make a game as good as Tony Hawk's without love and passion. And see, when that team got bought, they were like, oh, we're so thankful for our publishers, Activision, bringing us into the fold. We're part of the team now. And then a month later, they're like, yeah, get the fuck off the skateboards. Put the half pipes away. Get the fucking skins made. We need 3 more skins for the operators for this season, or you're all sacked. And I can guarantee words to that effect were said to them with the conditions then, right? But Tony Hawk's, we need to see 3 and 4 happen. And I think Phil will he'll go and he'll go around Vicarious Visions. He's not unaware of the situation that's happened there. That team will be saying, can we come back together? We had stuff to do, we had plans. Tony Hawk's obviously still got to deal with him. He's like, what the fuck's my 3rd and 4th game that you were making? Do you know what I mean? I'll just take my name elsewhere and make shit mobile games again. So anyway, that needs to happen. So that's all I've got to say about Tony Hawk's. However, there's a bigger name on that. World of Warcraft, I guarantee, is the next one you're going to speak about. It's got its own section, right? So now we're going to move on to the bigger game sections, right? I'm going to say it right here, and I'll say it loud enough for the people at the back. It might not be this year, but by 2024, Call of Duty main game will be exclusive to Xbox. I'll just say that one more time. It will be fucking exclusive to Xbox by 2024 at the latest. I think it was Paris that said it, and Phil Spencer echoed it. Paris from Kind of Funny Xcast, great guy. He said, and these are all guys with a bit more inside knowledge than us, you do not spend $6 billion on a franchise to share the goods. And he was right. Phil Spencer made a statement saying, we don't want people to miss out. We do not want to take these franchises away from other systems. What does he mean? Existing properties that are already out and running, we'll keep supporting them. That's absolutely fine. Fallout Online 76, keep playing it on PlayStation. It's already there. You're good. See the next Fallout? Buy a fucking Xbox.
Yep.
Right? But this is all a big power play by them but we'll get into that later.
Yeah,
this is a big power play to force Sony's hand to do something they've been wanting to happen, because Call of Duty will be an exclusive, right?
Yep.
And here's my backup to that statement. Paris and Phil Spencer said that about $6 billion. Phil Spencer made a similar statement straight away. Oh, we don't want people to miss out on other ecosystems, and Sony, don't worry, we'll continue to support you. He didn't say that every Call of Duty game will forever be in PlayStation, because see, if it was going to be, he would have said it. This statement here has been carefully prepared so that he can go, I didn't say that it was going to be forever. I said we would support you. We've supported Call of Duty that came out last year for a year now. Now we're on to the next one. That's what's going to happen. I've got another statement as well. Warzone was never going to be forever because it was built last gen. There's always there's going to be, and I know they've updated it. There's going to be a Warzone 2. They're going to change things. They're going to update it, right? Or it's going to go stale. They have to. Warzone 2 won't be in PlayStation either. What you'll get for the next 2 years, one and a half years, is Warzone, right? On all things that it can be.
Yeah.
Anything after that, see your multiplayer, like your PvP, your deathmatch, no, that's only an Xbox. You want to play Warzone? Yeah, that's there. It's not getting updates from this game though, because that's only on Xbox. Or wait a minute, you can, but it's only on Xbox and PC. So if you want it, get Game Pass, because the entire message behind all of this, and this is what I'm getting at with Phil's statement being so similar to the Bethesda statement, he will come out and say to the fans, because it's hitting the ball back in Sony's court, and they didn't hit it back, they just quit the game the last time. He will turn around, and I guarantee it's coming. We don't want any fans missing out. We will put these games anywhere Game Pass is available. That's what he will say, because he said those exact words for Bethesda, and that couldn't be more clear. It's saying to Sony, put Game Pass on your machine and your fans don't lose out. And Sony did that. However, this time, never mind the rest of them, we'll get into other games as well. This time they've got Call of Duty, so that conversation's going to go a little bit different. And do you know why? Halo was known as the biggest shooter. One of first-person shooters. Yep. Call of Duty took over. PlayStation had Killzone. Didn't work. If Xbox decide to say fuck you, there's nothing for shooting fans on PlayStation, and there's a lot of fans on PlayStation that just play Call of Duty. Just play it.
So, I mean, first-person shooters, right? It's becoming a very, very clear and concise divide here now between Sony. Sony's here. Sony's here. Hello, I'm Sony, and hello, I'm Microsoft. So Sony over here is, I'm third-person, story-based, story-driven action games. This is what they specialize in.
No, that's all we do.
That's all they have. And then over here you've got Microsoft, first-person, anything. Every first-person shooter is now on Xbox. Sony doesn't have any of them. Any of the big ones.
None.
Doom, Quake, Wolfenstein, fucking Call of Duty.
Even Gears to a point, even though it's third-person.
Yeah, third person.
It's still popular in
like,
esports.
Battlefield is the only one that's like
Nobody wants it.
and nobody wants the new Battlefield because it's a bit shit.
Yeah.
So what Sony? So I think Sony will not put Game Pass on the PlayStation. They do not want this. They'll be pissed.
There's a
at this news.
there's a section for this. There's a PlayStation section.
Okay.
So what I want you to talk about is: do you think Call of Duty is going to be exclusive to Xbox? Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next year, but it's. And if this is a long play, do you agree or do you think nah? It's going to be both.
I think 100% it's going to be exclusive to Xbox, with the potential exception of Warzone until Warzone runs its life cycle.
Yeah.
But I mean, Warzone might go another 3, 4, 5 years. We don't know. Until the last gen dies off, basically.
Which is maybe 2 years down the line, which is
probably
where
probably 2 or 3 years. I don't know what they do beyond that. Like if they do Warzone 2 or whatever they want to call it. Like if they put that,
maybe Battle Royale dries up though.
I think Battle Royale's here to stay. I think it's definitely got staying power because that mechanic is good. And like if you make a
I'm
good
excited
game
about
in it,
Andy. Do you know what I'm excited to? We're talking about Call of
What?
Duty. We can all play Black Ops 4 again, and we can do house tours.
Oh mate, yeah, fuck yes, I'd love to do that again. I'll play Black Ops 4 again, definitely. Like I think it's cool that all those games will come to Game.
I've
come to Game Pass.
never took it off my hard drive. Like, I've just been sitting waiting.
But he's just been waiting for all the rest of us. Like I sold my copy ages ago, but yeah, I think it's awesome that's gonna happen. Obviously, all the games will be day and date.
We're not talking about that. Just can you stay with the structure instead of?
I'm talking about specifically Call of Duty, like having it day one. Even if
I will play Call of Duty more now that I'm going to get it every year for free.
Put it this way, right? So like,
part
even think of it this year, right? So like, if the deal is part way done this year,
they could
right?
have
so,
it. Do you know what I think they will push?
Yeah.
Well, do you know why it's done? And Microsoft and Phil Spencer and Xbox aren't stupid enough to announce this if their lawyers didn't say, yeah, this will go through. Or if they didn't 100%. There's no way they're putting out a thing like this and then welcoming them to the Xbox family. Such a big deal for it to fall through. There's no way. So this is through. It's just going to have to finalise. They're signing T's, filling contractual obligations. So I think they're going to push. They're going to be like, we need it on Game Pass this year. Like, we own the cut. What are they going to say? We're like, we own you in 6 months. You can't say no. Like, this is our company. This is just signing letter. They're going to have that, right? And do you know what else they're going to make sure? That see when you start up Call of Duty on your PlayStation, it says a Microsoft Game Studio game. It will.
I totally agree. And that's the thing to think of for this year. If you own both consoles and you're a Call of Duty guy, just get the Game Pass version. You don't need to buy it.
You don't need to buy an Xbox to get Game Pass. People forget that.
Yeah, you don't need it. You can play on PC. You can play it on your fucking phone, your tablet, whatever.
Anywhere.
Like just anything apart from a Switch or a PS4. You can play.
You can play it on your TV screen.
Play on a TV screen.
Samsung have got a deal. Download it there. Download that. Yeah. Buy an Xbox.
So, but yeah, I totally agree. I think that this year's Call of Duty game will be on Game Pass day one.
Yep.
Definitely. Now, Microsoft might not necessarily own the company fully by then. All the stuff might not be through. I think that will probably.
This is as good as working out a deal to get it on Game Pass. This is as
exactly
good as that.
Yeah. They do that all the time with, like, I mean, it's happening with Rainbow Six. Like next week?
Ubisoft. Yeah, let's make a deal.
2
Extraction. Extraction's day one out of nowhere. Yeah, it's going to be on Game Pass. What?
Yeah.
What's the deal? Oh, we're going to do the Ubisoft membership on our console. Cool. So are you telling me that? See, some people are like, it's not going to be free this year. It is. They're buying the company. There's no way that they're not going to go, okay, COD this year is on our system day one, and we want any exclusive you've not promised the PlayStation.
Yep,
they will,
which makes total sense to me. But yeah, that's cool.
Which is nuts though, because when you think PlayStation since the PS4 has had this Call of Duty deal with, I remember I was downloading Black Ops 3 DLC when the new game was out because Xbox didn't have it yet. 6 months after. Madness. But Sony don't have. Sony, people forget that. PlayStation sells more than Xbox still. It's going to get closer this generation. But Microsoft is much, much richer than Sony, and Microsoft own Xbox. Like,
Sony will come back up. I think.
Sony won't. PlayStation will. Sony nearly went bust. That's the reason they agreed to let Spider-Man to Marvel and such, remember?
Yeah. No, I know, but I think that Sony is on a kick back up here.
We'll get into Sony. I don't agree.
Yeah, okay.
That's an argument for at the end. That's why I saved it for the end, because it goes, Andy's going to argue back and he's wrong. But right, so anyway, we'll move on from that because we've already talked for 45 minutes and we're not even halfway through this list. Right? This is it. So I'm going to combine this into two. So I touched on earlier what I think they're going to do is Call of Duty recently, they've pulled all the resources. So basically every Activision studio, High Moon, Vicarious Visions, Toys for Bob, you now work for Call of Duty. You're not Activision team members. You just make guns, you make mechanics, you do this, you program shit. So I think Phil Spencer will go in, see what studios are still happy with Call of Duty. He'll assign the studio he sees fit. It might not even be Infinity Ward. It might not be Treyarch. He might go, Treyarch, you still get anything to do with Spider-Man? Because remember that Spider-Man deal we had? Can we do something with that with Marvel? I doubt it, because Sony have still got dibs in Spider-Man, but who knows? Yeah. But anyway, I think he'll split the studios back up. And people will be like, well, how would they make Call of Duty every year? I don't think they're going to. I don't think they need to. I don't think it needs to be done. I think what they'll do is they'll realise what they need to get good reports from the studios within the next 2-3 years. They need E3 or whatever event. Happy studios with Xbox team is so great here. I love it here. They need those sort of, like pan shots through the studio with everyone happy. Yeah. Activision need to be appeased as well because the strike's still ongoing because the workers' union came out today as well and said that we're surprised by it, but we're not stopping what we're doing until things change, right? So I think what they'll do is, and it'll make for a better Call of Duty. They don't need Call of Duty Xbox don't need a Call of Duty every year. That's not why they bought it. If that was the case, they would be churning out Halos every year if they needed to. They don't. Yep. So what they'll maybe do is they'll go, there's a gap this year. What's a big holiday game? Forza was out last year. We've just did Halo. Let's throw out Call of Duty this year. That's what they'll do. How are you guys getting on with Call of Duty?
I disagree. Right. I think they're going to move to a 4-year cycle, right? 4-year cycle on, not Call of Duty, on first-person shooters. So you're going to have Halo 1 year, then you'll have Call of Duty 1 year, then you'll have Doom another year, and then Wolfenstein another year. Like, that's how you do it. 4-year cycle.
You're probably right. And guess what?
And like,
the resources, the cool stuff from
good.
Stuff from Doom. Doom can now be in Call of Duty. Doom guy can be in Call of Duty. Master Chief can now be in Call of Duty, and he will be.
Yeah, totally.
He will be. He might even 100%. Be in it this year as a skin. Make a Master Chief skin, please.
Might even be in it in like less than 6 months.
Yeah,
like
do it
in
now.
Warzone.
So I think that's what he's going to do, right? So this ties into my Vicarious Vision. So as I touched on earlier, Vicarious Visions get split up. Horrible what they did to that studio. The studio sold fucking thousands of Tony Hawks. They brought back faith to the series. They had the right mechanics. And the minute they buy them, they went, yeah, we need you to help out with Call of Duty. Then they disbanded the studio so that they couldn't go back. It's like, what the fuck? So I think Phil Spencer needs to go in and organise that whole mess. And he needs to go, right, what happened? Like, do you still want to make Tony Hawks? They do. That's absolutely what they do because I've read interviews. The team are passionate. And we're not going to see Call of Duty every year anymore because the quality has dipped. And see, years back, you looked forward to Call of Duty because it wasn't every year. It's like, holy shit. They've said in 2 years' time there's going to be another Call of Duty. Let's get it. And do you know what? It was fantastic story, fantastic everything. And they've shoved it to the side in favour of that. Don't get me wrong, Warzone will be the continual one that's always there. Yep. Warzone's not going anywhere, and they will update it periodically, but guess what? You're not getting as a heavy focus as they used to. No way, because the assets won't change as much. What they'll do is they'll maybe rejuvenate it, they'll rotate maps a wee bit more, so that you'll go between the three, because there's 3 generations of Call of Duty now in it, from Black Ops 4, Cold War, I believe, and then the more recent one, whatever, Vanguard. So I think they'll do that and they'll swap it out. But anyway, I don't know. I don't think Call of Duty is every year anymore. And I think there's no way that they buy Activision and go, yeah, we'll just keep you all making Call of Duty. What's the fucking point? There's no way they're doing that.
They want them to make the games new IPs
yes,
as well.
They need the games, so they want new IPs. Put Heinen back in Transformers straight away. Straight the fuck away.
Oh, not even that. New IPs, like brand new things. Like,
of course.
Things like Sony have been doing for the last several years, like Last of Us, Tsushima, Horizon.
Right. They do want that. So at least, well, here you go. Heinen Studios were great third-person action games, so why not put them in a bigger...
I don't mean just like third-person action game, but like
they're lacking
the new...
No, but they're lacking them.
Sure, but like make the new first-person shooter that everyone's going to love in 10 years' time.
Yeah, but they don't need that because Sony need that. Microsoft don't. They've got Halo and Call of Duty. They're good for that. They don't need another first-person shooter. Anyway, so do you know what? It's so crazy that GoldenEye leaked and it's kind of just been forgotten about. Right. Anyway, so so that needs to happen. So yeah, we've covered that. We're now halfway since I rushed it on, so we managed that in another 10 minutes. So next thing I want to talk about is World of Warcraft, Andy, because people are sleeping in that game. People left because they were making a point. And don't get me wrong, they've lost quite a lot to Final Fantasy 14. Fine, it's a great game, deserved. How do you bring people back? Phil Spencer walks into Blizzard and goes, guys, what do you want to do? That's what he's going to do to all these studios. And see, instead of being told, we need to do this because this will make money, you need to give them this skin because this will make money, let's make the class. He's going to go, what direction do you want to take Warcraft? How do we bring it to where it was? What do the fans need? He's going to listen. And he's going to go, there's the resources, there's the money. Like, if you need help, assets, anything, do you want to speak to Playground Games? They're working with the fantasy stuff just now. I know you guys have a different style, but it's all there for you. That's what he's going to do. And I think Warcraft is going to go, whew. Here's the cheeky thing. Here's a question for you, Andy. Here's a wee question for you. We'll talk about Game Pass pricing later. Do you think they could be cheeky and throw in Warcraft as part of your Xbox subscription?
I mean, I think they'll ditch the sub, to be honest, completely.
And the second part of that question, does it finally come to console after being promised to us in Wii U all those years ago?
Yes. This
100% Warcraft's going to go to console.
100% comes to console, yeah. I mean, Final Fantasy 14 is on console.
It works with a controller. It works with a controller. Absolutely fine. Yes.
Warcraft's not any more complicated than that.
No, it's got your two toolbars. You hold R1 and you use... Yeah.
And it's super intuitive and it works. Like, see, if you're into RPGs, you can fucking work it out, no issue. If you want to, and if you want to play a game like Final Fantasy 14 or World of Warcraft, you have to be into RPGs. It's not for casual players at all.
No, I wouldn't say so. Do you know what they need to do? I want the Old Republic on console. I do. There's no need for. There's no subscription in that. It works. That's the model they take. They take the Knights of the Old Republic model. It's totally free to play. You can finish that entire story free to play. But if you want to play the expansions, you have to buy them. If you subscribe, all the expansions are free and you level up quicker. That's what they do with Warcraft. They already do that just now. They introduced it, so you can go to, I think, level 20 for free. And once you get to level 20, then you have to sub because it kind of stops you.
You still have to buy the base game, though, do you know? I can't remember.
No, Warcraft, the base game, I'm sure is free at the moment. But I reckon you're right. They do away with the sub. But what I think they do is, if you want the expansions, you need to buy them. But everything up to now is free. But if you want the new one, well, that you have to buy it. No, they don't. They put it in Game Pass. What am I talking about? It's all free now.
No, they don't put expansions on Game Pass, though.
They did with Gears 5.
Sometimes they do, but generally DLC they don't. Usually it goes Game Pass game, and then you can buy DLC.
Yeah, you're right. They will do that, and they hope you buy the deluxe edition stuff. So yeah, that's what they'll do. They'll release Warcraft Complete Edition.
They did it with Outer Worlds is the most recent example of it, I think. Where they put out the main game, it was on Game Pass, and then they brought out DLC a year later.
Forza Horizon 5, they did it.
Yeah, and you can buy the DLC.
And that's fine. Like, I don't care. See, if you're giving me the game day one for free. Like, I was trying to explain it to my cousin who's Xbox or PlayStation only. He always has been. I'm trying to explain to him, you might need an Xbox in the next couple of years, so you haven't got a PS5 yet. I'd choose wisely. Yeah. And then I was trying to explain to him how Microsoft are doing this because they want... Well, they're not just doing it for that, but they want Xbox Game Pass everywhere. That's the goal. But anyway, so that's good. I do think we're going to get console Warcraft. And it will bring in a ton more players. That's what's going to bring it back. So the first thing Phil's going to do is he's going to make sure all the teams are happy, what they want to do. And then he's going to have an idea for each one. And I guarantee one of his ideas is, how difficult can you put controller support onto this? And it's not going to be very difficult because there's fan mods out there to play it with a controller already.
Yeah. And
all they do is go, yoink. Hours.
And they've got they've got so many teams of talented people there now. Like, probably how many people work for Xbox now? Like 100,000 maybe, something like that.
Easily,
it's a hell of a lot of people. Anyway, there's going to be a shitload of people that can work on that and get it up to speed, no bother. Yeah. Like, that can happen, 100%. They made back compat out of nothing. Like, the technology didn't exist. Microsoft made it happen.
So, also, because I want to talk at the end of this about something else, but Microsoft did say that this deal came as a surprise, And it happened very quickly over the holidays. Like, I've even seen reports, I think it was Jeff Grubb saying, it explains that the executives at Microsoft working extra over the holidays and no one knew why. This is why. They were working on this deal, and I guarantee it came from, because Phil Spencer said he was going to visit Activision and talk to them. He was going to talk over things. So what they were expecting was, right, go on, tell us how you're not going to put our games in your system. And he went, no, we want them all. I'm going to buy you. Like, whereas PlayStation sat down and went, nice to meet you, let's work out something. We don't want to pay as much because we don't want the bad publicity, so that's going to be cheaper for us. Yes, cheers, see you later, buddy. Phil walks in and went, oh God, not another one. And he went, no, I own you now. Just get off my chair. That's how he, that's what happened. He went in to talk to them and went, no, I want to buy you. So anyway, they're not, I don't think they're done, and I'll tell you why after, right? Because this happened last minute. So, next, after Warcraft, we've got to talk about the Overwatch 2 situation, right? You brought up a very good point in the chat earlier on. Me and you were talking. Overwatch 2. I think 100%, regardless how they do it, it's Xbox exclusive. That one is not even a question of going to PlayStation now. That's Xbox PC only. That's an Xbox franchise.
I disagree on that one. Purely because Overwatch 2, they've built it as basically an update for Overwatch 1.
So you think they might use, oh, you're getting Overwatch, but you're not getting COD.
Exactly, yeah. So, like, Overwatch, I think, will stay, whatever platforms it's already on, like, PlayStation, it will continue to be on there.
So you think this will be like a Destiny 2 style expansion, like, where it's basically Destiny 3 because you've changed everything, but it's just an update for the main game if you buy it?
I believe that's how it's going to work, yeah. Obviously, the game's a wee while away still yet, but they're adding in, like, a single-player story and stuff like that into it, so... there's going to be some kind of update, whether it's a paid update or like a free update. They haven't really said yet, but that's definitely coming.
Well, they did mention campaign and stuff, didn't they, as well for this?
I think if I remember rightly, because it was a while ago they announced this stuff. BlizzCon last year, I think it was, maybe even the year before. But I think if I remember correctly, the way they said it's going to work is your Overwatch 2 multiplayer maps will go into Overwatch 1, and your game will just update. But if you want the campaign, you have to buy it. And it adds on. I think that's how it works.
So yeah, that's fair enough. That's what we think. Overwatch 2, but I think Warcraft stays Xbox only. I don't think it goes to PlayStation. PlayStation won't get.
Yeah, I don't think that would come to PlayStation.
Right. So that's most of them. Like we can. But this won't be the last time we talk about this. But so now what we need to talk about is Sony, right? So Phil Spencer cockily 2 weeks ago said, I think it's inevitable that Sony try and make a Game Pass competitor. I agree, and I know why he was so cocky now, because he had this in his back pocket. I don't think it's going to be what people think. I don't think you're going to get, like, you're not going to get Ghost of Tsushima 2 or Last of Us 3 or anything day one. I think Sony are going to position themselves to be like the iPhone of phones. Say what you like about iPhones, Andy, but they position themselves as a premium. We do what we do. If you don't like it, don't buy us, right? Whereas Xbox is more like Android. Look, everybody's welcome. Look, you can get this, you can do this, you can do this, and iPhones still keep making more money, even though like subjectively it's a better phone, right? But iPhone's like, yeah, but we're premium. Look how we function. Look how we do this. Look how we do that. PlayStation 5 looks premium. Series X looks like a cheap custom PC case. No offense to it, but it does. PS5, like, I think it's going to tick along. I think we're going to see what we've spoke about before. PlayStation Now Plus becoming one thing. I think that's what it's going to be. I've heard some rumblings about further backwards compatibility, and we said ages ago that was always a possibility, and we read an interview that the initial plan was full backwards compatibility for the PlayStation library, but they had to accelerate production because Series X was ready to ship. So they skipped a few steps. I'm sure it was Mark Cerny that said that. I could be wrong. But he definitely said that he wanted PS1 and 2 to work on it. I think they unlock PS1 and 2 backwards compatibility, even if it's just digital. And they bolster PS Now with a bit more first-party games that are already out. Like, just put them all on it. Don't do day one, but see after a year, put it on it, or 6 months, put it on it. See all the ones out now. There's no need for that not to be on permanently on PlayStation. Rename it. Call it like PlayStation Platinum. That was the name I came up with earlier, PS Platinum. And for the one price, you get PlayStation Platinum and PlayStation Platinum Ultimate like Game Pass. So PlayStation Platinum will get you the Plus and Now together. PlayStation Platinum Ultimate will get you your online as well. Like, that's the way to do it, and charge you like 60, 70, whatever it is, up the price to whatever it should be. Right? That's what I think we're going to get. And a lot of people are like, oh, they're going to do the same. You're not going to get Spider-Man 2 free day one. They're going to sell you that, and you're going to fucking buy it. That's what's going to happen. Yep. Last of Us 3, you're going to pay 60, 70 bucks for that day one. That's how it is. There's no way that they feel that. I think Sony's opinion would be that would be lowering the value of their games by doing that. It's worked for Microsoft, but I don't think it's in Sony's image to do that. I just don't. Nope. So, what's your thoughts on that? I know you kind of agreed along the line, but do you kind of agree with what I'm doing? Maybe not PlayStation Platinum, that was my name, but a similar service so it looks more competitive rather than you've got Plus, you've got, well, what the fuck do I buy? Like, make it 2 services, one with them all and one with the games. That's what you do.
Yeah, I think that the way it needs to work is that you just have access to all of PlayStation Plus. Like, I don't know how it would work licensing-wise, but just give you access to fucking everything. Like, I would say everything going back to day one on PS Plus, give you access to everything. Even if you didn't subscribe day one, just let them have everything. If not, though, all the first-party stuff, 100% should be in this service. Not day one. Totally agree there. There's no way Sony will do that, and honestly, I don't mind that either. And like, if Microsoft didn't do day one games as well, I would still be interested in the service. But I think what they will do is they'll put like Last of Us 2 into PS whatever it is. Ghost of Tsushima will go in there. These games have been out long enough to get PC releases. A lot of them now, so like, put them over. They won't go day one. I don't think ever, honestly, until Sony goes to like a subscription only model and doesn't have a console. I don't think they'll do that for a long time yet.
PlayStation 6 is happening. We're at least going to get a PlayStation 6, 100%.
Yeah, I totally agree. But yeah,
we're more likely to not have another Xbox console after the Series X. We might have an updated Series X, but if Game Pass works the way, and also I'll add in, they announced recently they're up to 25 million subscribers for Game Pass, which is crazy. If this continues with the speed it's going, then there'll be no need for another Xbox. See, once they release the standard Series X Slim or whatever they call it, the new one, because there's going to be one coming that's cheaper than a terabyte internal, or 2 terabyte internal. It's going to happen. Then I don't think we're moving on from this Xbox. I think they'll iterate it a few times. We'll maybe get to the One X version of it, and then they'll go, do you know what? Game Pass is everywhere now anyway. We don't need to be console competitive because folk are paying us our money anyway. What's the point in us losing money on a console, which is what they do?
I'd still think there'll be some sort of box, like whether it doesn't need to be as powerful a box if they can handle all the processing server side. By the time like the internet gets good enough to be able to do that, then yeah, I think you'll see consoles go away and it'll just be a box or a wee stick or something. But I think they'll have something Xbox branded that you can buy forever, basically. But yeah, Sony's service, I think they might need to rethink it. Based on this news, though, because this obviously Sony probably found out about it not that long ago either. I would guarantee
Sony found out about it. Sony found out about it this morning.
They knew before today.
No, they didn't.
In the boardrooms and whatnot, the high ups at Sony knew about this a few days ago at least, right? So they'll already be having to rethink whatever their thing is, because if they put their like announcement out about their service, right, whatever the service ends up being called, PlayStation Platinum,
I've heard Projekt Spartan is the code name for it.
Or Spartacus, I think it is.
Spartacus, yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So if they, that's obviously not going to be what it's called, but that's the project name. So if they announce the Projekt Spartacus thing, right, in the next month,
which in my opinion is going to be Plus and Now combined.
Basically, yeah.
Basically.
Whatever they do, it's not going to be good enough.
100%. 100%. It can't be.
So I think they'll be delaying the announcement of that, because I would have almost guaranteed that announcement would have come this month or next month.
March.
They will 100% delay that till at least March, so that the whole thing can die down just a wee bit.
Oh, they will. I think
like stole all the thunder that could have got.
But I think that this, like from what I've heard, this get put together quick, and they announced it as soon as they could. This get put together over Christmas, basically, and they were already working on other things that we'll talk about. But anyway, so that's our opinion on Sony. Do you think Sony potentially moved to buy a studio or invest in a studio such as Square or maybe even like Rockstar Games? Do you think? I think the next studio one of these guys makes a move for is either Rockstar EA, Ubisoft, or CD Projekt Red. Do you think Sony makes a move like this? Do they even have the money? I don't think they've got the money for EA or Ubisoft. Maybe not even Rockstar. Do you think Sony could try and grab CD Projekt Red? Because it's not as big a studio.
I think you could get CD Projekt Red. I think that Sony might do something like this now, and it would be what I would term in the footballing world as a panic buy.
Because, well, do you think it's enough them just buying, like, what was that, Blue Point Games and Housemarque? Do you think that's enough? It's not. So I mean, Sony have to be panicking just now. This isn't like right. So see if you've got an apple pie, right? See when Microsoft bought Bethesda, they took a slice out, and Sony were like, "Okay, we're not getting that back." See when they bought Activision, they took a quarter of the pie with them, and they went, "This is coming home with us." And Sony are now like, "Oh, this is a shared pie. We're running out here."
Yeah.
They have to make a move on something in my mind. I think they have to count the pennies and go, what can we do? Or who can we make a long-standing deal with? And I think if it's that option, if they can't afford a studio, Square's the most likely one to make a long-standing deal to cut out Microsoft for them.
Now, I agree with you, right? But like, I don't see them buying Square or Sega.
I didn't say buying. I said a long-standing exclusive deal.
Like for exclusive deal, yeah. And they've probably got that with Square already, to be fair, because like Final Fantasy VII Remake is not on Xbox. It doesn't seem to be going there. Final Fantasy 14 is not on Xbox. Doesn't seem to be going there. And we're not counting
PC, by the way, because PC is the middle ground. It doesn't count because Xbox and PlayStation both put games there now.
Yeah, and that's fine. And like, I wouldn't care if a PlayStation game went to
they're not in the same
day one
market
either. Who cares?
Because you've got levels, you've got the PC guys that I don't care about. Then you've got the two consoles, and you've got Switch just floating along happily. Yeah. Here's one that will shock you again, bringing up the 70 fucking billion they spent. Nintendo's share of the market is only 61 billion for Nintendo.
Jesus.
I say only.
Yeah. But could Sony buy CD Projekt Red? That's a good question. I could see them potentially doing it, but if they're going to buy somebody at this point, they're buying somebody that makes first-person shooter games because if say they're losing,
it would be EA then.
For them, they have to buy somebody, and I don't think they could have.
Right, so we're back. So Sony could buy I don't know if EA would want to sell, but they could sell a portion of the company and say, "Look, we're not selling the whole company because you can't afford us, but." What about this studio? Do you want to buy the B team for Battlefield or the B team for Star? Because you're not selling the main team. They still want to make Battlefield. But what if they sold a team that worked on them or they bought it? I don't know what Sony's move is, though. I don't know if that's possible, you know what I mean? But I didn't think buying Activision Blizzard at this point was possible. No. Like, Phil Spencer's a fucking savage, man. Like, wait for the company down and being kicked by everyone going, "You've got some good properties, man. I'll buy you and sack that guy." That's what he's done here. Yeah.
But yeah,
Sony he owns Warcraft. He owns fucking the franchise Warcraft. Never mind Call of Duty. He owns fucking Warcraft. He owns Tony Hawk's at the moment. Like, that's nuts. Well, not him.
I mean, yeah. So Sony could potentially buy CD Projekt Red. I don't think they will. I think CD Projekt Red likes their independence and whatnot. Fine.
I think CD Projekt Red looks more like a Microsoft purchase.
Yeah, I agree.
What the fuck is up with YouTube? Fucking YouTube Streamlabs obs piece of shit.
I think it was Discord, to be fair.
Right, so anyway, like, it's not Streamlabs, they disconnect us from YouTube. But like, so CD Projekt Red, they're not in the best position. They need to do two good things this year. They need to release a banging update for The Witcher, and they also need to release a game-changing update for Cyberpunk. What Phil's maybe waiting to do is to see if those two flop. And if they flop again, he's going to go, "Guys, I'll sort you out." And then he's just bought himself The Witcher. That's nuts if he does that.
Yeah. I think what Sony will actually do, though, I don't think Sony will buy anybody. Not those type of developers anyway. They could
indie
buy
guys,
somebody.
Maybe.
Or they could buy Sega. Like, Sega would be a cool buy
No,
for
we're
Sony.
going to talk about Sega later. They're not going to buy Sega. And you know why.
But I think what Sony will do instead of that is they'll go, "Fuck, we don't have enough first-person shooters on our console now. Let's make a first-person shooter," and they'll make a new first-person shooter franchise.
And do you know what they'll make? Killzone again. Or Resistance.
No, they'll make a new first-person franchise. I think they might bring back Killzone. I don't think they'll bring back Resistance, but I think they'll do a brand new one. They'll take everything they've learned from making...
I'll tell you now.
Third-person story games and apply that to first-person.
Resistance is a better game than Killzone.
I mean, I never liked either of them, to be honest, at all.
Neither did I, but the Resistance was better. But anyway, we need to move on from that part. So your answer is that they might buy, but nothing is significant. And I agree, because they don't have the money in the coffers to do such a move. They just don't have 70 billion to spend on anything.
They don't. No, they might have some small. You could maybe see them spend $1 billion maybe on
a couple of billion.
I doubt it.
Yeah, but they won't. They won't. I don't think they've got the money to throw away on that, because the whole company's trying to rebuild.
Yeah, Sony as a whole, maybe. But even that, like, look at the money like Spider-Man No Way Home made. Like, you're not talking 68 billion for that movie. And, like, that's the biggest thing that's happened to Sony overall for several years.
Sony don't have that money. So, and plus they're sharing half that with Disney, remember? So, so you already discussed Game Pass and PlayStation. We've talked about that. But do you think, how long before Sony bend over and go, fuck, we can't do any more? Like, do you think Microsoft have to buy someone else? And what if Microsoft turn around and go next month, yeah, we bought Ubisoft as well? Like, at what point? Here's my pit. You laugh, but did you expect them to buy Activision? Nothing's off the table now. So here's the thing, right? I don't think we're going to get a big acquisition like that. I'll talk about what I do think we're going to get this year. I don't think this is the last purchase they've done this year. So Phil, after Bethesda went, do you want Game Pass? And Sony went, nah. But now they're like, come on, you want Game Pass, don't you? He's going to go back to them. Like, Phil's not going to get beaten down. And see if they say no again. He will buy something like Ubisoft. That's his next move. That's my opinion. If Sony say no this time,
do you think that he's just like trying to do the console, the console war?
He's not trying to do the console war. He wants Xbox to be a service, and he wants it on PlayStation. Once he's got it on PlayStation, he's won. He's done his job. That's all he needs, is Sony to go, okay, we'll take Game Pass, finally. And then Sony pleases the fans. And the thing is, see, every time he buys someone like this, he's going to say, it will be available everywhere that makes Game Pass available. And that's letting the fans know it's up to Sony. That's what he did the last time. He put it into Sony's court, like I said. So he's like, anywhere Game Pass is available, you can play this. He's going to say the fucking same about this. I don't care about all these people, probably thousands of comments. We're getting Call of Duty 2, you can't have it. I own both consoles, but I'm fully prepared within 2 years it's not going to be on my PlayStation. It's just a fact of life.
That's fine.
If you don't spend $6 billion and you don't share Starfield, there's no way you spend $70 billion and share Call of Duty. It just doesn't happen. If you can stand up and be the console to say this is the only place to play Call of Duty, you're going to do it. You're going to do it. Sega stood up and said you can't play Sonic elsewhere until they went bust. Nintendo stand up and go, you're not getting Mario or Zelda anywhere else. Xbox are going to stand up and go, Call of Duty's here. That's what they're going to do. You can't get Call of Duty anywhere else. It's a bit like, see if PlayStation bought GTA. Oh, but GTA Online's everywhere. Do you think they're going to give it to Xbox? They're not going to give GTA 6 to Xbox if they manage to buy that. Nope. I don't think they've got enough money for Rockstar, because that is a money churning machine. I think Xbox could. Not right now, but I think they could.
I do not think that the Rockstar wants to be bought and doesn't need to be bought, because they seem to be quite a well-run company. From what I hear, there's been bad people in there for
but
sure.
They've left. The ones I heard about stepped down and left straight away.
Yeah, I think they all went away. And
it was like the original devs, wasn't it? And the writers. It was
it was the guys that started the company and shit. But they've all been moved on, and like that company, like just churns fucking money. Like they don't need to be bought.
They've made one game in 10 years basically, and it's still making them money. And they've got a remake of that game coming out this year.
Yeah, so they don't need to do anything. They will not be bought. Sega? No. Maybe?
Right. So the next section is, who does Xbox buy next, right? So if you remember what Phil Spencer said after Bethesda, he says we're not done with announcements on purchases or acquisitions yet. He said something along those lines, right? And he says that they were focusing on Japan. This isn't a Japanese studio, right?
No, not at all. No.
And this came out of nowhere. I think they were working on a deal, and I'm going to say it again, it's Sega. It's Sega. It's fucking Sega. And I was watching obviously I was watching a documentary on YouTube. I was watching a documentary on YouTube the other week, which is the catchphrase of this show, and it was about the Dreamcast. See, when it went bust, remember how I said it looks like Xbox, the original, copied it? Xbox original, the design team did go and help Microsoft. They did. And then they actually said, if you can make it backwards compatible, they wanted the Xbox backwards compatible with the Dreamcast. That's how much
Oh,
it's
that
in
would've
line.
been cool, yeah,
So
yeah,
the head
yeah.
of Sega went, and do you know the reason Microsoft had to say no was because they had plans for Xbox Live that wouldn't have allowed it. It wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason. Otherwise, you look at it, the Xbox is the Dreamcast 2. Look at the games. Crazy Taxi 3. You had Sonic Adventure... Not Sonic...
Jet Set Radio was on it.
Jet Set Radio. Shenmue 2 is the one I'm looking for. You'd all them.
Shenmue.
Shenmue 2 was still quite recent when the original Xbox came out.
Yeah, yeah.
And they went, look, here's the stuff. And we've always said this, and if you want to do it that way, we've still got Sega and Nintendo. Sony is the evolution of Nintendo because it started as a hard drive add-on, a CD add-on for the SNES. The SNES PlayStation's out there. The Nintendo PlayStation's out there. And then they went, yeah, we're going to go with Philips, or we don't want this. Sony just went, okay, we're taking our ideas and we're just bringing that out. And even Sony's original controller looks like a SNES pad. The original Xbox pad looks like a Dreamcast. The console wars never left, right? Sega, over the past few years with Xbox, as you know, have had a relationship like this. Yakuza 7 straight away. You had all the Yakuza games on Game Pass.
Well, not straight away. Mismarketed, remember?
Day one, it was console exclusive on Xbox.
Oh, okay, right. Sorry, I thought you meant on Game Pass.
No, it was mismarketed as that.
Okay.
But, like, you know what I mean? Like, all these games,
Yeah.
you've all got the Sega thing, all Sega. Sega separated themselves from their arcade division last year, remember? And we thought, this is it, they're going to buy them because I always said, Sega make too much money in their arcades, there's no way. And then see the minute Sega said, okay, our video game division and our arcades are now two separate entities. I went, they're selling. And I think it's still going to happen. I just think that this has delayed it because this is the bigger announcement to start the year with.
Do you know what the Sega thing could be like? Sega is I would imagine, much older company than Activision.
It is.
So I would
is
imagine that there would be a lot more different people tied up in making a deal like that happen, and getting everybody to agree to it and whatnot before they can come out and announce it.
I
So
agree,
I
because-
think that could happen.
Because I don't think they're buying Square because of how tight Square is with PlayStation and has been since Square.
Yeah.
Square used to be Nintendo's buddy, and when Sony moved, Square moved with them because they were ready to make Final Fantasy VII on disc. And then when they said, "Well, the N64 is going to be cartridge," they went, "No fucking way, we can't do this on cart."
Impossible.
So I think Square's out of the question. I think anyone else isn't big enough to announce. Sorry, Japanese developers. I think Square and Sega are the two big ones. And Sega and Xbox have been closely linked enough. I think Sega's the one. I can see in my head Xbox X Sega. I can see it in my head. 100% I can see it in my head. And all your Sega games, all your Yakuza, straight to Game Pass. And they'll keep them all exclusive.
Yep.
That's what I think is going to happen. People are like, that's them done. They can't afford any. Microsoft can afford plenty more than that. Like, that's Bill Gates walking around money. That's what that is.
Yeah. And Sega's not going to cost you anything like what Activision's cost you.
3 billion per Sega.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Maybe 3 billion.
Yeah. It's going to be a drop in the ocean compared to what
Considering
you just paid.
Considering they've just separated the arcade business, the video games is no... Because Sega as a company was billions, right? But that was including the arcade division, which is all your pachinko machines in Japan, all your arcade machines, which are still ongoing. Every arcade still got a Sega machine. If you go into an arcade today, there's going to be a Sega machine, be it a Puggy or be it an actual video game. Or a grabber. See all the grabber claws? A lot of them are made by Sega. The video game style ones with Tetris, that's Sega.
Yeah.
So separating the arcade division means that they're pleasing the old heads, as I'm calling them. We don't want to sell the arcade division, we're still making money. Fine. What about the video game section? When was the last hit? 2001. So let's just separate it. Be honest. Like, I love Sega.
They have had it since then.
What one, Andy?
Like they maybe not to the extent
They
that
haven't.
You would want them to have a hit, right?
Let's be honest, they haven't.
Sonic Mania was a hit. Yakuza 7 was definitely a hit.
I love all these games, but they're not. So it's going to be easier to buy the arcade.
The Total War games, every time they come out, those are hits. Everyone.
But there's another example. Total War went to Game Pass and PC, didn't it? Like the Sega ones, they went to PC, yeah?
Some of them did, I think, yeah.
What I'm meaning is, it makes Sega's a big announcement. If Microsoft buys Sega, it's a natural fit to me. It works. And if Square get more close to Sony, that's also a natural fit to me. I think we're going to hear about Sega. Okay, so if I'm wrong, there's going to be a Japanese studio acquisition announced by the end of the year, and you heard it here first. 100%. I think that the plan for them was to announce it by E3, even though it looks like E3's cancelled now. Because I believe what's happened is Sony's pulled out again. I think you're maybe right. Sony knew about this, and remember with the E3 rumours the other day of it might not happen. I think Sony's went, how the fuck can we compete with Microsoft standing on stage with all the Activision things and all this? They've just went, we ain't doing it again. So
I mean, Microsoft can just literally do their own E3 now. Microsoft 3, where they
need their own E3 with all the studios.
They do a giant showcase, and each day is dedicated to a different brand. Like, they've got so many.
So, yeah, I'm just going to read these out. Where are we? This one. But yeah, it's absolutely, it's insane. So let's have a wee look. Xbox first party studios, and this is off their website, right? So under Xbox Game Studios, you've got Rare, you've got Mojang, you've got Double Fine, Undead Labs, World's Edge, Obsidian, In Exile, Compulsion, The Initiative, Ninja Theory, Turn 10, 343, Coalition, Xbox Game Studios Publishing, and Playground Games. Then you've got Bethesda Game Studios, ID, Tango Gameworks, Machine Games, Arcane, ZeniMax, Alpha Dog, and Roundhouse. And now, added into the mix, you've got Sledgehammer Games, Beanox, Toys for Bob, King, Infinity Ward, Blizzard Entertainment, Hyman Studios, Raven Studios, and Treyarch, and hopefully Vicarious Visions. Xbox literally could host their own E3. Why doesn't Phil Spencer buy E3 and make it an Xbox event?
Yeah.
Why doesn't he do that?
Yeah, totally.
It's now Xbox. He has enough studios to have his own 3D event to announce games.
Yep.
That's fucking crazy though, man. Yeah. That's absolutely crazy. So, I think it's a good... People are... Oh, it's a monopoly. It's not a monopoly. There's plenty of other third-party games. Calm down. What it is a power move so that Phil's next conversation with Sony, I guarantee he's regularly contacting Sony going, have you thought about Game Pass yet? Have you thought about Game Pass? He will. He's going to chap at that door till they go, fuck, just give him the application on the web. Give him it. He's going to. It's going to happen.
The thing is, he'll be looking at that as purely as a business move, right? Because that's an untapped market for him. Because there's a lot of PlayStation gamers that do not
have never
have
played Gears. That have never played Halo. That have never played Forza.
Never played Halo, yeah. Never played any of these things. They play Call of Duty. They play whatever the PlayStation exclusives are and that. But that's an untapped market for him of millions and millions and millions of people that he could potentially sell Game Pass to, because they see the PlayStation Plus numbers, and would people pay this for Game Pass when it's actually better value than Plus? Fucking yes, they would. So
it's £10 a month for the base tier. That's all.
I genuinely don't think Sony will ever allow it on a PlayStation platform ever.
I disagree. He buys Ubisoft, and what choice do they have? Because his next move is EA, and then what are they going to do? Bring out Spider-Man every 3 years? Sorry, you're just going to have to wait. We have no games for PlayStation this year until Last of Us 3 is ready.
Yeah.
And you know that's Phil's goal, and PlayStation must be shitting themselves going, oh fuck, it's literally Thanos. He's going to get them all if he has to. You know he is. He's got his glove on just now, and he's just slotted in another Infinity Stone with Activision on it, Blizzard. Do you know what's insane though, right? Not the 70 billion, not anything. When you think of the biggest fucking franchises in gaming out there, literally the only one that he doesn't have is GTA. He's got Minecraft. He's Fortnite's apart from multi-format ones, but he owns Minecraft. He owns Call of Duty. I say Xbox does. World of Warcraft. Are you kidding? You add GTA to that mix and there's fucking nothing left. That's what I mean. He's a Rockstar Studios away from PlayStation just going, Phil, we'll pay you for Game Pass.
Mario, Sonic, like these ones.
Arguably,
big,
but Sonic's also multi-format. You can't...
True, yeah.
Sonic's not that big, let's be honest. Sonic's big, but he's not Mario big.
Sonic as a brand, I think, is much bigger than Sonic as a game.
This year's Sonic's year. I think Sonic's on the up again because you've got the movie this year, Prime, you've got Frontiers and Origins, so it's Sonic's year. Sonic's never went down for me. Sonic's always been top tier. Sonic's AAA for me every time. But
as a brand, sure, but like...
No, but think about it, Andy. World of Warcraft, Minecraft, Call of Duty are all Xbox now. That is madness.
Crazy.
Mad. Yeah. The other option could be Konami as a cheap buy for PlayStation. Thinking back to that. I don't think Xbox would go for that, but PlayStation could. But then again, Phil Spencer thinks ahead. He could be like, fucking Metal Gear, Silent Hill. Give it, come here.
Yeah. Well, do you know what Sony will probably do, like, in response to this? They'll probably buy fucking Kojima's company. Like, that's what they'll do.
Would Kojima want to sell to Sony though?
To Sony, sure. Like, guarantees company for life, yeah, cool. And he likes Sony, so...
Even that move, good publicity, it's not as big as this. It's not a game changer.
Oh, totally not. It's a tiny...
What, is he going to do Postman Simulator 2 next? Like, come on, that's...
One studio, like...
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
They already financed him to do whatever he wanted, and he made a bizarre fucking game.
He made a piece of shit.
Game. It wasn't that good. It was alright, but like it wasn't that good.
It was boring. I've tried several times. I even bought the PS5 version. I'm like, I can only hold the straps and do this for so long before I'm bored in the game. Like and it doesn't get much better than it. There's occasional fights in it, but it's fighting in the loosest sense. But anyway, besides that, I don't think Sony's got anything for it. I think you're right. They'd primed their, we'll call it PS Platinum service, where they'd combine Now and Plus. What they would have done is a graphic of Now and Plus come together and going with the new logo. And it just telling you all the games you would have and how much the price would be, and I think the price would be much more reasonable. They might have even added in like your I don't know, the music or something, because there was rumours of that. I remember the music, Sony Music or Sony Films or something coming, but there was talk of that. I'm not sure, but anyway, that's delayed now, 100%. Apparently there was a game that came out today, and I feel sorry for it. I don't know who it was that made the game, but it launched today.
It was a Game Pass game, I think it was.
Yeah, that's awful for them because that's getting.
To be fair, it might not be so bad because it's on Game Pass, like, and people are talking about Game Pass and whatnot.
Oh yeah, if it's on Game Pass, they've got the money.
People might boot up their Xbox to look and see what's on Game Pass to see if there's any Activision stuff on it, and they're like, "Oh, there's a new game. Let me try it."
There's not going to be any Activision stuff on it yet. They might start working. They might start drip feeding titles as the deal goes down the line, as long as things are going smooth. Call of Duty, 100% thing. I think what we're getting this year is Call of Duty and Game Pass, and it's rumored to be Modern Warfare 2, which is perfect for me. It saves me spending the £60 that I would have on it. I didn't buy last year's Vanguard because I'm no interest in World War 2, but Modern Warfare 2, yeah, I'll buy that. And it's not the remastered. Sorry, it's the follow-on to the Modern Warfare kind of reboot they did. So I love the campaign. I'll play that, man. Great, good for us. But yeah, do you agree that Microsoft aren't done? Do you think there's another studio acquisition this year?
I don't know about this year, but I think they'll definitely do another one within the next year or so.
Is it going to be bigger or smaller studios?
Oh, it's not going to be as big as this. This is the biggest deal that I think.
It's in video game history.
Unless they were to now go and buy, even though I don't think Rockstar would be as big a deal. Even EA, I don't think would be as big. The only things that they could buy that would be bigger would be Sony or Nintendo.
I think even though Nintendo's market value is 61 billion, I think it would cost 80, 90 to buy them.
At least, probably more.
100 billion.
If you're valuing Activision at 60, like Nintendo's over 100 easily.
Over 100 billion, yeah.
Easily.
For brand value alone and consoles and everything, because that's not just a studio, that's a whole company. Yeah.
You're buying Mario. Mario is like.
Yeah, you would own Mario. Do you know what? Every time somebody's offered to buy Nintendo, apparently they've laughed. I think Xbox did make a thing. Remember they said they did try and buy Nintendo and they went, we're not for sale no matter what price you put down. I don't think Nintendo want to be sold. They're like, we're making money. There's no zeros that would entice us. Like, they think differently. See, if you even see their presentations, the people that work at Nintendo, they're different-minded people than these Microsoft, I'm making bank. They're like, yeah, we're making money, but guess what? We're doing this. They're truly the guys that do what they love and they stick at it. You know, you can tell it with them. They'll do the crunch and not call it crunch. They're just like, no, I need to get this done. This is what we do. I'm making Zelda. My life's goal is to make Zelda. Look at the guy that made Smash. He nearly killed himself.
Yeah. It's like it takes them like 8 years to make a Zelda game or whatever. Like,
it is.
That's why, because they make a extremely well crafted game that they love. Fair enough, there's other games that are.
Look at Reggie. He walked into the Prime 4 studio as one of the most anticipated games and went, fucking delete this. And you're all sacked.
Yes.
Get more guys in.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, anyway, like, this has been a bit of a different show, obviously, if you've watched up to now, thanks very much. But let us know what you think about the conference below. We're not finishing up just yet because Andy's played half an hour of console this week, but that's basically we've covered.
Fair, I can save it for next week. Like,
you can save it for next week. You want to wrap up here? Just keep it as the Xbox show,
I think
because
this is a good.
Because I mean that's been 2 hours, well, an hour and a half coverage. That's a good length. So let us know what you think about the Xbox acquisition. Are you better? Are you on PlayStation still believing that you're going to get Xbox games on it, even though they've just spent 70 billion? They're not.
Here's a question I have for you just before we wrap up. Do you think this is a good thing for gaming as a whole? Are you happy with this?
Absolutely, because you don't need to buy an Xbox to have Game Pass. If you really want this, subscribe. Put it in your tablet. Put it in your telly. Absolutely, it's a good thing. Yeah. Why wouldn't it be? Now, see if they went out and bought Nintendo, I'd be like, nah, that's not cool. I wouldn't think that's cool. This is just a baller move from Phil Spencer. It's crazy. Like, World of Warcraft alone makes millions, even though it's struggling.
Yeah.
Like, Candy Crush makes more money than that probably around the world, and World of Warcraft is a franchise. Never mind Warcraft 1 to 3, which we'll hopefully get 4 from it. But like the fact that he owns World of fucking Warcraft, never mind the rest of them, even Call of Duty. Like how? I know they were all with one company, but I didn't see it as one. Console owning them. That was just Bethesda. That's just who they made. Now it's like Xbox has just bought the shit out of you. So under one roof, you've got like Doom, Wolfenstein, Starfield, Elder Scrolls, Fallout, fucking Call of Duty, Warcraft, Starcraft, Tony Hawk's. You've got Tenchu if they wanted to bring it back. Overwatch. It's crazy. That's just crazy. I can't.
Insane.
And that's not even counting like Gears of War, Halo, Fable, Forza, all their own stuff. But I literally think Phil Spencer got pissed off with PlayStation people online going, you don't have any games, in every argument. Because if you look back, that's what they were saying. Then Xbox bought Bethesda and it started to get quiet. Now they're like, we will still get Call of Duty. Stop saying that. You won't. They spent $70 billion.
You ain't getting Call of Duty,
you're
buddy.
Not getting it. You might get this year.
Buy a Series S, play on your PC, or play on your phone.
That's your options. You might get this year's because it's too far in development. No, you will get this year's. Yeah. I'll say that, you will. Yeah. But see, next year, unless it's already far in development for the PlayStation version, there's a chance next year they're going to go, you're not getting it.
I'm going to tell you this, right? See if you're a PlayStation gamer, right? I think there's a lot of people that are the Call of Duty PlayStation gamer that are still playing on PS4. Hell of a lot of people, millions and millions of them probably, that haven't bought a PS5 yet. That maybe you can't find one or it's too.
Do you know what's good about it before you carry on? Xbox have moved to next gen. They've stopped Xbox One, so that's last gen fully now. So the next Call of Duty could easily be next gen only, as well.
Possibly, yeah.
Why the fuck would they cater for the PS4 audience?
Yeah.
Why would they cater for PS4? Because they don't have Xbox Ones in production. What's the point?
And on through Game Pass, you could play the next gen version on your Xbox One if you so desired.
That's what they're going to do.
Yeah, it makes complete sense actually.
But anyway,
if you're a PlayStation 4 gamer that just plays your Call of Duty or whatever and doesn't have a PS5 yet, don't buy a PS5.
Don't get one.
Buy instead of buying Call of Duty this year, buy a Series S and Game Pass.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Because the following year you're going to be pissed off if you get a PS5. I'll say that.
Yeah. And
if not 2023, by 2024, you're going to be raging. You're getting a year out of your console maximum with the latest Call of Duty.
Yeah, and so I own a PS5 and I own a Series X as well. But the
I
PS5
also own a PS4 on top of that. Yeah. And you do as well.
Oh, I do have a PS4 as well. It's not mine, it's the Wii ones, but I have access to it. I haven't to use it.
And I'll pop in here, even though I'm Xbox siding, I've only ever bought one Xbox day one. PS3, PS4, PS5, PS2 Slim, we'll count that in as well. Day one for me. PS Vita day one, I believe, the Vodafone version with the SIM card. PSP day one as well. The only one I didn't really buy day one was the PlayStation, the original one, because I was too young, it wasn't my money. Yeah. So I've been PlayStation most of the way. I didn't even own an original Xbox day one. I got a 360 the second year. I got an Xbox One the second year as well. My vision on Xbox changed in the 360. It was like, holy shit, this is something new. So it's not like we're trying to project us as we're video game fanboys all round.
Yes, 100%. And like for me, at this point in time, I don't care where I play the game really. Like, I do prefer the trophy system.
Which is insane for you to say, considering Andy from 2 years ago even.
Totally. I do prefer the PlayStation trophy system and the controller to a certain extent on the PlayStation 5. But Xbox has way more games available to me at a way, way, way lower cost.
Well, you're talking, if you don't get Ultimate, Andy, and you pay £10 a month, £70 for a PlayStation 5 game, yeah? So disregard this list PS5. £250 your entry point for a Series S. £70 you'd buy a game for your PlayStation, right? Day one. And you're talking 450 plus 70. Over £500. See for 250. So for £320, for that £70 you would spend in a game, you can get 7 months Game Pass at $9.99 a month and a Series S.
It's an absolute no-brainer.
And that's including day one games. Day one.
Day one games. Fair enough, the hard drive is quite small, but you can cycle the games out and then like play what you want.
Buy an extendable hard drive for that one.
Well, the thing is, cloud gaming exists for the Series S. Cloud game it instead. If you've got a good internet connection, which I have a really good internet connection, and like cloud gaming on my console works perfectly. I know other people like Mark and Ian, they can't do cloud gaming.
Mine
the
works
internet's
fine.
not good enough to do it. But yeah, mine works absolutely perfectly as well. I can play no issue, playing online and everything, and using the streaming. Like playing an online game inside a game.
I can play xCloud on this. I can play xCloud.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't think it performs well on the phone, but that's by the by.
In my house, I can do it. Outside on 4G, no.
The other thing with a Series S is you can get one.
You can go buy one. You can go tonight to Tesco's and buy one. The reason I know that is because on my way home, I was working out at my parents' tonight, because I work from home now. Went to Tesco's. Series S were there. You know the technology counter? You can walk into Tesco's tonight and say to the guy, mate, I've just listened to 42 Level 1. Can I get one of those Xboxes and one of your Game Pass cards? And you could be coming home tonight. No installs because it's cloud gaming. Plug it in and go.
Good to go. And obviously you can install stuff if you want, and the hard drive's super fast. It's just
I
a
would
small hard
argue-
drive, that's your only drawback.
I would argue if you're sitting there with PS4 Pro just now, you could probably trade that in and pay off most of a Series S, if not a full thing. If you sell privately, you definitely can if you sell it with games. If you've got it sitting with, say, 8 to 10 games, decent ones, you could... Series S.
And honestly, I would say that that's actually a super fucking smart move if you're sitting on a PS4 Pro right now, or even a PS4, sell it, buy an Xbox Series S.
Spend 70 quid now, call it your pre-order for Call of Duty, and you're going to get Call of Duty this year.
Yeah. Just, that is the move that you should make if you own a PS4 right now. Trade it for a Series S, 100%.
100%. So I'm keeping my PS4. The reason I've still got it is because it's a cheaper Blu-ray/Netflix player for the kids' bedrooms, because I'm about 2 years away from Lexi needing a TV in her room.
Oh, she not have a TV yet?
She's got a tablet, but she doesn't get it in her room.
Yeah.
I've got TVs upstairs, because remember I had like 2 or 3 in the house.
Yeah,
they're ready to go. But definitely.
For me, just to answer the question that I asked, I also think it's a great thing for gaming. Microsoft seems to know what they're doing with getting the best out of
Phil Spencer
these
does.
studios. Yeah, well, Microsoft as a whole, like, it's not just Phil. Like, he's the figurehead, but like, there's a
It's
bunch
not
of
quite a
people under
Boris
him.
Johnson deal here. He actually does his job.
He does do his job. You're right. He might go to parties, but like,
He doesn't. No, well, listen, Boris doesn't. And just because he had to wear a mask to stop himself from smirking doesn't mean that is really why they put a mask on him for the first time in an interview in months. It's probably because he couldn't say it with a straight face.
Yeah, I think you're probably onto something there. But anyway, with this Xbox thing, I think Microsoft is going to get the absolute best out of these studios, and like, when we know that when these studios are at their absolute tip top, they make incredible fucking games.
They're going to be treated 20 times, 100 times better than they were with Activision, because Phil Spencer has to go and turn it all round and then show the evidence of here's how the studios are now. The workers need to be shown to the public to get good graces. Look, Xbox have took them into their family, because that's what they want to be, because they call it the Xbox family of game studios. So he wants them part of the family. He has to treat them like kings, which he should anyway. Like, they're going to make him fortunes. He's going to get mega bucks for this. I would argue that he's up there with Reggie for me these days.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's
Doug Bowser. Where's that guy been? I've not seen him since he got the job.
Do you know what? Phil's probably, I would even go as far at this point to say he's probably more likable than Reggie.
He presents himself more likable, yeah.
He does. And he seems like Reggie was cool, but in a sort of weird way.
Yeah, he was a cool, weird guy, yeah.
Cool, weird guy, yeah, but like, Phil just seems like a cool fucking guy. Like, I'd love to go for a pint.
Yeah,
I'd love to go for a pint with him. Yeah. Reggie, I would be like, I'd go for a pint with him.
But he
like,
might not
I
speak
don't know,
much.
he might not say much, or he might
Act
go
weird.
to the toilet for like an hour.
Yeah,
that sort of thing.
and then come back with different clothes on for no reason.
Yeah. Or like he would spend the entire night playing the puggy, like that sort of thing.
So you've just described with him going to the toilet, come back with different clothes on, Welby in his early 20s, and playing the puggy all night, Ian when he used to get off shift at Harley's.
I'm living my real life experience.
Do you know who the worst person for that was? Don't know if he was watching. Ryan McNair. You'd go, do you want to go to the pub? Aye mate, you'd go in and he wouldn't speak to you, just go straight to the puggy. Worst. She'd be like, this is great. I'm just standing here.
But yeah, I think that this is an amazing thing for the gaming industry. I think us as gamers are going to get better games because of this. So
and see if you're sitting there moaning saying, I don't want to buy an Xbox though. We've just said you don't have to. You don't even need to get an Xbox controller. I've played Xbox games on my tablet using my DualShock. You can sync it up to your iPad. Even iPad does it now. iPad, Android. If you've got a tablet sitting, get your xCloud down. You can even get a month trial right now for free. Sign up, make an Xbox gamer tag. Then you're not touching an Xbox console. Connect your Bluetooth controller to your tablet and have a go of Gears, Forza, Halo. Play Halo on it. You can do it on your tablet right now with the service.
Yep.
I've done it. If you've got the right TV, you can do it on your telly.
I still think it's a no-brainer. Like, there's nothing particularly coming out for PlayStation 4 now. Horizon.
What's coming out for PS5? Like, let's be honest.
I mean, Horizon and Gran Turismo are both still coming out on PS4.
So is
like,
God of War 2. Remember.
If you're really excited to play those ones, like, sure, you keep a hold of your PlayStation for them. But like, otherwise, if you're not that interested in those games or like have no interest in them, if you're just a Call of Duty person, trade it, get a Series S. That's the way to do it. Yeah,
and here's another reason. A lot of these Call of Duty only players are also FIFA players. See, with your Game Pass, you get not only a discount on FIFA, but you get it 10 days early to try, and you get it for free 6 months after it came out.
Yeah.
So, there's your option there. Great for sports games as well. Like, Xbox has literally got all the sports games. It's just bought a ton of mascots for platformers. It's got all the first-person shooters. It's got a decent amount of RPGs scattered about as well. It's got a beasting selection of indie games, especially Game Pass seems to be really good for those guys to do it. It's got the best racing game. I don't care what Gran Turismo 7 does and how much I want it. It's got the best racing game. So yeah, third-person action adventures that go on for 40 hours is the only thing it doesn't have. And Spider-Man. Yeah. All I have left is Spider-Man. But anyway.
I still think it's good for gaming. And like, I can't wait to see what happens with this going forward. Like, I'm excited just to see the fucking Knack 3. I'm excited just to see the giant drop of Game Pass games when this
Activision dump comes, because you know you're getting loads. Remember when it happened with Bethesda and you're like, holy shit, everything's here. Look, you've got this, you've got this. That was nuts. So Activision are going to be the same because you're going to get boom.
Every Call of Duty game.
Every Call of Duty game is backwards compatible right now. So here's my advice: if you've got an Xbox, hold off on buying that digital game in the sale, because see, for the next 6 months to 12 months, Call of Duty games are going to constantly be bargain prices on the Xbox store. You know they are. So that folk buy them. They're going to drop them to like £10, £5. You're going to be like, I'm tempted to buy that. Don't, because they'll all come to your Game Pass.
Yeah, we'll be on Game Pass sooner or later, but yeah, it's gonna be really exciting, and I think this is a great way to start off the year for gaming. Like,
this is why I think he's announcing another one this year, Andy. This is why I think he's doing another one this year, because it's so early in the year. We're not even left January; it's mid-January, and he announces it.
Like, usually this is a dead month, and like I'm dredging up old games that I played 7 years ago to play right now. I've got nothing to play.
I'm holding off for Pokemon in like 10 days time. I'm like, I'll just play Sonic again.
There's nothing happening. So like, this is like an absolute bombshell. Dropped at the best time. Great news. Love it. Yeah.
Brilliant. So anyway, we'll wrap up there. Let us know, as I thought, your opinions below. Do you like Xbox? Do you not like Xbox? I don't care. Like, let me know what you think about this whole situation. Are you more excited about Warcraft 4, or the hope that Vicarious Visions gets restructured and brings out Tony Hawk's 3? Or are you like Andy and just making up games that get cancelled? Yeah. So thanks very much if you tuned in and watched. We appreciate you all. Like, subscribe, share this. Share it to people. Get people watching so we can all chat together all the shit in the world. I've been Ali, he's unfortunately been Andy, and yes, he will be back again next week. Bye.
Goodbye.
Such an awful bye as well. Anyway.